He's alive. He made it back. Ross is here.
It was a long hike back to normalcy, but we're here.
Okay, so you've been out the last couple of days.
It's been a rough few days, man.
Because you had a cold?
No, it was something more than a cold, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
Well, I think you described it well for us. You said, if I remember right, the text message said, I feel like I got ran over by a train carrying disease.
That sound about right?
Yeah, it was.
Do you remember that?
I got ran over by a train, and also that train had a disease and gave me that disease.
Okay,
I didn't know if you were speaking out of like, I had too much cough medicine.
No.
Oh,
no.
That was all Ross.
No.
Okay.
All right.
There was no cough medicine involved. I stayed pretty natural the whole time.
Look at you.
I know.
Okay. Just fought it off?
Yeah, my grandma's like, here's some pain meds. I'm like, nah, I'm going to tough this one out.
Okay.
But it still felt like a train hit me.
I think you have a different definition of toughing something out than the average person.
Here's the thing, too. Chaplain Justin believes this was good training for you to be a husband someday.
Oh, yeah?
Because there seems to be a, I don't know, global
Stigma?
truth.
or truth.
That husbands sometimes, may overreact a little bit.
All right. Can I defend my cause, Mark?
Okay.
The thing is I'm not going to speak for all dudes, but for most dudes that I know,
Okay.
you can lose a limb and just be completely okay. Walk it off. But as soon as you get a small sickness, your life is over. And you just want to curl up on the couch for a week. That's the way it is.
Yeah. I think you're ready for marriage now, Ross.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
Ready for some good news?
We are too.
Here's your positive difference story of the day.
All right, so it's NWA Gives Day today. Seemed like a good day to celebrate some generosity today. In fact, this came from Coach T at Freedom 51 Ministries.
Yeah.
You guys know who that is, right?
Yeah.
They're actually the ones who kind of helped start NWA Gives Day, which is pretty cool. So here's a story that he shared. He said, on the edge of Taneytown, there was a small white church that he used to ride his bike to when he was 13. It happened to be the week before Christmas. That year had been a really hard year. It's a really hard year, like 3 kidney surgeries.
Wow.
Kind of hard year. That little church had maybe 40 people in it, he said, but they knew me and they invited me in. They even gave me a part in their Christmas play that year. And at the end of the service, the pastor stood up and talked about generosity. And then they took a special offering for him and his family. And that night, they sent him home with $157 to help his family during Christmas.
Wow.
He said, I remember the number because it was the most that I had ever seen. It was in my pocket for that 3-mile bike ride home the whole time. It's like making sure it's all there, right? He said that generosity wasn't the only one we received, our family, that year, but it was the one I never forgot. It's also one of the main reasons that we love coming alongside others. He's one of the coaches for generosity from Freedom 51. So how cool is it? This gift from this church had such an impression on this young man at 13 that God would take that and then turn it around and turn him into a financial coach to help other people learn generosity.
Yes.
And then you think the ripple effect of all that from $157.
Praise God. Go, Coach T.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
they didn't just talk about generosity.
Yes.
They talked about it, and then the church acted on it.
Exactly.
And that's just what was going through my head. Like so many people nowadays, it seems like, especially the younger generation, they're a little hurt by the church and maybe the fact that, okay, they say these things, but they don't act on it. But stories like this show that that's not true.
Yeah,
I love
putting literally hands to the feet and doing it.
Exactly.
That's pretty awesome. That is our positive difference story of the day.
Real people, real life. The KLRC Morning Show. 90.9 KLRC.
It's NWA Gives Day.
It is. It's a big
Today,
day.
I think this is one of those days that just makes God smile, just to see his kids be generous, just like he is. So today's a day where they're basically just inviting anybody in our community, if you can, to be generous towards some kind of nonprofit.
That's right.
And together, everybody just doing a little bit together, it's going to make a big difference today.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great nonprofits that you can support today. We even reached out to some that we get a chance to work with just to say, hey, how can people help and what kind of difference would it make?
That's right. Like LifeWise Academy. So LifeWise Academy is a Christian educational program that provides Bible-based classes for public school students that takes place during school hours. And so if you give to LifeWise today, what you're helping support is, think of everything that a school requires: buses, maintenance, insurance, fuel, curriculum, supplies for the students, sponsoring teacher and bus driver salaries. Most of the positions within LifeWise are volunteer, but there are a couple that are paid. So you're helping support that and really just helping continue to spread the word to children who might otherwise not have heard it. We've heard amazing stories of, students who invite friends who have never had exposure to Jesus, to the church, and this being that vessel for children to hear it for the first time.
Yeah, that's
what
really,
you're helping
really cool.
support.
Yeah, Freedom 5-1's another one too, and I can give 2 personal thumbs up to that one. I've been going to Freedom 5-1 recently.
They helped you make a budget?
Yeah, it's one-on-one coaching with somebody who knows what they're talking about, and I really appreciate that because, I've had people my whole life who know a lot, honestly, about money, but I've never had those one-on-one conversations with them. So having this one-on-one conversation with Tim, he's my financial advisor, it's been extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. I've been putting a budget together, and they're really trying to hone in on those families that really need a budget, that really need financial advising. Right now, they're trying to hone in on those Hispanic families that might really need to, get a budget together, get some financial coaching together, and they really have a heart for that. They want to pour out all that they have, all their knowledge, all their resources.
That's cool.
To help families like that.
Yeah. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
One more, too, you might want to consider our friends at Loving Choices. They're raising money today so they can keep coming alongside those moms and dads who are walking through pretty overwhelming circumstances.
Yeah,
but man, when they come in, they get to see God's love on display with things like diapers and clothes and formula. So they're raising some money to keep that outreach going. They just launched a new location in Springdale too, which is pretty awesome. So those are just 3 options that you can support at NWAGives.org.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
Today is a big day in our community, especially for these nonprofits. We get it, like money's tight for everybody.
Right.
So not everybody can jump in on this. But if you're thinking today, like, hey, this NWA Gives Day thing, this is pretty cool, where people all over our community support so many great organizations. We got to kind of taste our own NWA Gives Day last month, right? When all the listeners who gave to keep the radio station going. So today we're just putting out there like, hey, if you're wanting to support an organization today, there are so many wonderful nonprofits here, and a lot of them we know and love and get a chance to work with.
Yeah, exactly. Like 99 Balloons, which focuses on building an inclusive community for people with and without disabilities. So what I love about this one is that I learned this recently. They go into churches who call upon them for support and teach the congregation how to have an inclusive environment where people with different abilities feel welcome and feel like they belong, and that think of the resources and then things that are in the facilities can accommodate. So that's really sweet. And what they're focused on today as we give and support 99 Balloons is to help fundraise to support the college and high school fellowship and internship for this next year. So they're all about training up the next generation to help them be equipped to help serve this community.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So that's one of the organizations you can help today.
Another one that I really love and I've been a part of for a while is For the Love. So they got a goal of $35,000 that will go towards furthering their mission to keep growing and feeding more neighbors. They've got so many different locations, each night is like a different location. So they've got like Rogers, Bentonville, some more too.
And this is with the food truck, right?
Yeah. And it's just such a cool thing to be a part of. So this Thursday, actually, or last Thursday, I went to be a part of it. I went online to sign up. It was booked out for like a month.
Amazing.
Wow.
Isn't that such an amazing problem to have?
Yeah.
But you can still show up and you can still serve. It's so community oriented. You can just hop in wherever. Me and my girlfriend went, and we just said like, okay, we can't, serve with the food this time because it's booked out for a while. But man, let's just go around and talk to people.
Yeah.
Let's show love to people.
That's cool.
And you can volunteer that way. It's a great organization.
Cool. So they're hoping to raise about $35,000 today.
It's a
Pretty
big
awesome.
goal, but man, they're doing some really impactful stuff.
One more to consider, too, is our friends at Ability Tree. Kind of like 99 Balloons. They come along, folks with disabilities. They have a program called Connections Unlimited. It's for adults with disabilities, which is awesome. The bad news is it's full. They now have to have a wait list for families because the funding that's needed to be able to grow isn't there yet. So they're hoping to raise some money today and praying God will provide so that they don't have to turn any families.
That's right. And
away.
they're also, because I've been in conversations with them, they're also looking for, a blessing of a larger facility to be able to support this adult group, because the facility that they're in right now, they're kind of at capacity with the number of people that they can bring in. So that's where that wait list comes into play. So maybe that's something that's been on your heart too, of, hey, if we have this land, this property, who would be blessed by this? That's a great opportunity to be able to tap into that.
So those are just a few of the wonderful organizations that can be supported today on NWA Gives Day. If you want to learn more about the whole thing, NWAGives.org.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
T-minus 10 minutes now.
That's right.
NWA Gives Day officially begins in about 10 minutes this morning. It's a special day, like 12 hours of unleashing generosity in our community.
Yes.
And man, we've seen I think was it over $6 million over the last few years has been given to nonprofits.
And frankly, I don't know that we can say that this happens anywhere else in this country.
No, I love it. I think early on when they launched this, they talked about kind of the vision, the hope would be that Northwest Arkansas would be the most generous community on the planet. And we got some pretty awesome stories
Yes,
about
we do.
some. I mean, we get to be the beneficiaries of that. We see that just last month. We got to see that with the spring fundraiser. And today we're encouraging you, if you are thinking about giving, it's in your heart to give. There are so many great nonprofits to support, and we've been sharing some of those that we know and love and get to work with.
That's right. Like Project Zero. This nonprofit works to connect children in foster care with adoptive families with the ultimate goal of ending the state's waiting list for children without a permanent home. And so their focus today, as we help step in to support them on this NWA Gives Day, is they're hoping to raise $7,500 for what's called the Shine event. And this Shine event is an intentional event that takes place that is a lot quieter, and it's specific for individuals with special needs. So it's the children who are in
they're
foster care with
system
special
and have
needs.
special
But
needs.
instead of having, think of like a little formal dance on a Friday night that could be very overstimulating. This is a quieter event that targets their specific desires. So they get to have different activities, different therapists and things like that present for this Shine event that allows them to shine, to show these potential forever families what they're capable of doing.
That's
and just
really cool.
allow them to see how they thrive and where they thrive. So that's
really
what their
awesome.
focus is today, is to help fundraise for this Shine event.
Another one is CASA NWA, and I just learned about this one, and it's really cool. So they put an advocate who's also a volunteer with the foster child, and they just make sure that this foster kid, they don't slip through the cracks. They stick with them throughout the process. And one of the cool things that they're doing right now with donation money is doing some birthday celebrations. So I'll go over a couple of them. So with $25, you could provide a special treat for the birthday girl or boy. $50, you can help purchase a delicious birthday cake. $100 could go towards that, one of an extra special birthday gift, and $500 could help plan a truly epic birthday party. So they've got anywhere from 25 onward, which is really, really cool.
Years
Anything
ago,
would help.
my wife and I got to help at a camp for kids in the foster care system. And I was blown away by how many kids had never had a birthday party. Like, just never.
Yeah, they've never had a cake, never had anything.
So I love that this is just a tangible way they can come in and help out into them.
And it's just one of many things that they're doing.
Yeah. One more, too, you might consider our friend Susan Goss and the folks at Tangible Truth Ministries. They, of course, have the podcast that we share here on KLRC. Today, they're raising money for scholarships to provide free counseling.
Wow.
For folks who just need somebody to help process some really hard stuff in life with. Just don't have the resources to be able to do it.
Yeah. It's not a cheap thing to go and pursue, but it is absolutely worth it.
Yeah, so that could be another option to consider. Those are just a few, and you can find out more at NWAGives.org.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
And Ross is back. He pulled through and survived, as he calls it, the cold deluxe.
It was a really bad cold. It was the cold deluxe.
We were worried about you. We sent that text message that you had been ran over by a train carrying disease.
We're not making that up in case
you didn't tell anybody about that, right?
No.
Only our listening audience.
Oh, shoot.
Man.
They're family, Ross. We got to share these things. They might be concerned. You know what I mean?
Well, I
you've been
appreciate
battling.
the concern.
And you were legit sick.
I was legit sick, and
Like
Becky
not like
has
a man cold kind of thing?
No. Becky has a whole theory on how I got sick. I don't know if you heard.
I feel like we have uncovered this because, and I've heard stuff's been going around, but then you told us, like, you went into a cave.
Forbidden places.
All right, hold on.
Well, forbidden cave.
I have the luxury of being friends with somebody who used to live in Jasper, Arkansas.
Okay.
So we went to the Buffalo, and he knows all the off-grid spots that nobody knows, including a cave, right?
That is, like, off
You're not supposed to go
Well,
into.
I don't think anybody knows about the spot because it's so off the grid. So it's basically one of those big bluffs, and we're all rock climbers, right? So we're like, all right, let's climb down and find a way to get to the bottom. So we climb halfway down, and it's like, I don't know how to get to the bottom. Let's climb back up. And then somebody notices a small hole in the ground, and they're like, oh, surely that hole will get us to the bottom of the bluff. So we go in. Turns out it's a cave that we're navigating through to get all the way out on the other side. And it's pretty dark in there. And Becky thinks that something landed on me and bit me and gave me some sort of disease.
There's a reason why you couldn't just walk up in that cave. Okay?
They
were trying to make it not
don't have
easy
a enter here
for
sign
people
for
to
a
go
reason.
in to keep you out.
Just
Ross.
as an idea.
Self-infliction.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC. The positive difference.
Happy birthday!
Let's go! 1, 2, 3, go! H-A-P-P-Y-B-R-T-X-D-A-Y.
So the train that hit you with this disease also hit you with some slow jam moves in there.
Yeah.
Ross has been out sick, but he brought the moves today. Okay.
Gave me a
Impressive.
disease and disco or something. Disco disease.
Time for the Marketplace Grill birthday bash. It is Thursday, April the 9th.
And your morning entertainment provided to you by Ross.
And birthdays, Dax Dickinson turning 14 in Gentry.
Johanna Iris turning 28 in Knoll.
Red Holloway is 11 in Gentry today.
Hadley Haley also has a 7th birthday in Springdale today, too.
Brandon Hale is turning 34 in Colcord.
And Micah Catron turns 18 in Stillwell.
Ashley Peak turning 37 in Tawnytown.
And April Murray turning 40. I'm sorry, I don't have an age. I just about made that up. But she has a birthday, in
Speak it,
Westport.
All right, so the randomizer has picked a winner for us this morning.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. Is Ashley there?
Yes.
Ashley, it's Mark, Becky, and Ross from the morning show at KLRC.
Hi.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Ashley, what's one thing that you're thankful for this morning?
That I woke up.
Oh, that's a good
place
one.
to start.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a gift.
The sun is shining, and yeah, it's a good day.
That's
I
awesome.
love it. Well, Ashley, you are also the winner of our Marketplace Grill birthday bash, so we will get that in the mail for you, okay?
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Thanks. You guys too. Have a blessed day.